Welcome to this week's pilot episode of EG's podcast. I am Braden. I'm here with Crisis and Flashover. This week we are going to discuss Call of Duty, Halo, Battlefield, and other upcoming games. So let's dive in with the new Call of Duty Elite Premium Map Pack that was released this past Tuesday, January 24th.
Hey guys, this is Crisis, and today we're going to be talking about the new map packs for Modern Warfare 3. The map pack includes the two maps, Liberation and Piazza. Let's start off with Liberation. Liberation is kind of based on a really big ground war map, centralized, kind of based like Wasteland from Modern Warfare 2. Really flat and open, a lot of sniping points. You don't want to be caught out running out in the middle of this map. If you are, you're gonna die. You're gonna get spawn trapped a lot. Usually, there's a lot of bad camping spots based on the outer edge of the map where the buildings are. Just kind of based. There is a lot of ravines and dips and hills that you can hide behind and peek over. There's 3 bridges in the center that base the two halves of the map, which, when you're playing maybe domination, can split up the A and C flags quite a bit, but the B flag kind of falls right in the center where a lot of the action takes place. And you can get yourself killed quite a bit trying to take the B flag if you don't have it. One of the main thing is snipers take advantage of long sights. Most of the spots, there's a lot of abandoned military vehicles and trees in order to pick players off that, from long distances. And if sniping's not your thing, there are plenty of spots on the map for those that like to run around and run and gun. And if you also are not afraid of being exposed too much for maybe a certain amount of time, there's actually 2 mounted turrets available on both sides of the map to inflict more carnage on the enemy teams. The second map from the map pack is Piazza. It's basically set in a small town, an Italian coast. It's mostly for people that prefer close range combat. You gotta watch your back a lot in this map. A lot of spawns happen within the same vicinity of the fights. So if you're running and gunning, you're gonna have to run around. You're gonna have to make sure you got your back covered because you'll have somebody spawn within just a few seconds behind you, and it can easily shoot you. So this is one of those maps where shotguns and SMGs, maybe akimbo weapons, are the most adequate to use. Not too much sniping going on this map. It's kind of a lot of it's really vertical, so it's kind of hard to get perfect lines of sight for distances. A lot of turns. There's buildings, archways. There's tables with umbrellas, things that break up the scenery, but doesn't make easy targets for sniping. There is for like domination on this map. You have an upper level and a lower level for A and C, and then B kind of falls in the center. Near the outside of the map, like any other domination map. On Piazza, if you're trying to play domination, it's not too hard to actually double cap, if not triple cap, this map. It's pretty short and small, so it's easy to run across the map and capture the other flag. And to talk about Elite, with the map packs and Elite subscriptions over the next 9 months, any person that has Elite subscription can expect at least 20 content drops featuring new maps, special op missions, and other game modes. Elite subscribers can also use the calendar from the official Call of Duty website to find out when they expect the content to be available. All right, so Braden and Flashover, do you guys have anything to say about anything on Modern Warfare 3 or the new maps?
Go ahead, Braden. I don't.
Well, right now I don't actually have the new maps. I didn't decide to go with the Call of Duty Elite just because I find myself not playing the game very much, which is kind of disappointing just because rumors say the content might not actually be released till March or even later for the non-Elite members. But they sound like all right maps for those, especially those people that like to run and gun or sit back and snipe. But with no Elite subscription, I'll just wait and see how people actually enjoy them. What will you, Flashover?
Well, that's it's Elite Premium, right? Like, you have to have bought like the premium elite
Yeah.
to get those. So I didn't buy that either, and I don't really plan on getting an elite premium subscription just for a couple maps. Partly because I'm in a Battlefield branch, and I got like a, what was that, Braden? The limited edition, right? Battlefield. And
Yep.
if you got that, you got the Back to Karkin maps, which we'll talk about later, I'm sure. But it's kind of like I've already been maybe like rewarded or something just for buying something for Battlefield. So I don't feel like going out and buying something for Call of Duty. And I doubt I would play them that much anyway. So it's really not worth it to me. But Liberation, you were talking about earlier, that sounds kind of cool because Wasteland was my favorite map on Modern Warfare 2. So I kind of wish I played more Call of Duty, and I wish I had the money to spend on that. But I will not be getting those. But they sound fun.
Well, some of the new things with Elite, those are the people that when the game first came out, there was the standard game for $60. There was the special edition game, which came with Elite and which other perks in the box with the game, and then you could buy just the game in Elite. So overall, either you bought the game in Elite that cost you $100, or you bought the special edition one, which was I think roughly about $100 the same way. So it's no different, I guess, with the Battlefield 3. You bought the special edition that came with the Kirkland maps. So it's kind of the same concept there. You bought the special edition to get the maps. If you bought the special edition, you would have gotten the maps as well. So it's kind of a payoff in that way.
Yeah.
I think what's also going to happen with the Elite, they said you're going to get stuff every single month for the Elite subscription. So I think in February, I heard some talks about maybe possibly they might release a second map pack, and then when the non-Elite subscription gets theirs, they'll have those map packs together as in one. So they'll have like a normal map pack download. You get 4 maps. So we've already gotten 2 so far. I think maybe in February we might get 2 more, and then when March comes around, everybody else would get that one map pack download that has everything in one. So it's kind of a perk that, yes, you have Elite, you get these maps way ahead of everybody else. You learn everything, the tips and tricks, everything. Plus, they're just fun to play on. They're a good variety. I like Piazza a lot. Liberation, it seems like there's a lot of camping, but I guess that's Camp of Duty for you. I mean, what else do you expect? With the Elite subscription, I'm all Call of Duty. Yeah, I've had Battlefield, and I have some of the map packs from that, and I spend a lot of money on gaming stuff, so I'm more towards Call of Duty. Yeah, for me, putting the money towards that is kind of like you putting the money towards Battlefield. So there's 2 different branches of people that play these kind of games. There's some people that try to do both. Yeah, all for them. They want to spend a couple $100 in 1 year on just games and map packs. Well, it's the same concept, but I think in the near future I think that might actually happen, where in March there'll be a map pack with 4 maps. There's going to be new maps in February as well.
Yeah, the big thing with the Elite and then with the limited edition of Battlefield that Flashover and I both have is it was, for me it was the same price as the the normal version of Battlefield. It was still $60.
Okay.
I don't know how much, was it $10 more for you, Flashover?
I am not sure. When all of that stuff was going on, when they were talking about what you would get with limited edition, I honestly didn't even look at which edition I pre-ordered. I'm sure the guy at GameStop conned me into ordering the limited edition, so I didn't actually notice a huge increase in price, so it wasn't really that big of a deal to me.
Yeah, but I think it was the same price. I got it for cheap anyways.
But for those the people that actually bought Battlefield 3, didn't you have to specifically order a limited edition one in order to get it, regardless of the price? Because they just brought in so much of standard edition ones. I went to Best Buy. I tried to get the limited edition one from Best Buy, and they were like, "Oh, we're out." You had to actually order that specifically. So it seemed like people that wanted limited edition had to have pre-ordered it and actually asked for a limited edition one. It wasn't just like, oh, anybody can go to the store and get one. It seemed like they were kind of taking it up because people had chosen to get that specific one ahead of time.
Yeah, no, at my EB Games, it was, they just ordered a bunch of each, and if you pre-ordered one, you got that one, and when the pre-orders were done, they just had a bunch left that they would just sell.
Interesting. I didn't think about that. I think I don't know if we had like some sort of rule. I don't know if GameStop has a rule where like you know if you pre-order like limited edition, you don't pick it up. I don't know how long it is before they go ahead and put it on the shelf, or if
you have it for a week. I think it's a week. I think I've asked about that once before. I think you have like a week or something like that. They have to hold it because technically you paid for that pre-edition. You paid the pre-sale on that. You know, whatever, $5 whatever that you hold down on it, or whatever you choose to put down on it. Some stores are different. Like when you pre-ordered Modern Warfare 3, you took this cardboard card up to the front, you put $5 down, and that guaranteed you a copy of that game that night. You know, and then I stood outside Best Buy for a number of hours and then got the game at midnight. I assume the same thing at GameStop, where for Battlefield you could pre-order it. I don't know if you had to put any money down or not, but I think you guaranteed your copy at least for a certain amount of time. If not, if you put money down, I think you guaranteed it until you picked it up.
Yeah, I'm sure it's works the same way. Because with I find that the map pack, I really like the maps.
Yeah, so do I. Of the map packs, I don't have the new ones. I'm just a cheap ass and don't ever download them. No, I've seen the new maps. My buddies got them, and yeah, they're pretty cool. I haven't played them much, but I actually plan on maybe in the near future here buying them. I don't know if they're going to drop in price or something like that, but I do plan on maybe in the next couple of weeks probably buying them. Obviously if I start playing more of that game.
Well, I like it how you get, they're all remakes of Battlefield 2 versions.
Mm-hmm.
But you also get a few guns and assignments, which is a kind of a longevity progression thing, where you have to get a certain amount of kills or a certain amount of resupply or health things to unlock new weapons. Which was included in the Back to Karkand expansion.
Did they include any more new co-op levels with the new map packs?
I don't think so.
Because that was one of my things I liked on Battlefield 3 was be able to play something that's non-multiplayer, but be able to play it with a friend. And then, obviously there was only 7 levels you played in co-op. And I thought they talked about maybe putting more out there. I could be wrong, but those are pretty fun. Just going through those. The one I really liked was that helicopter one where one person's a pilot, one person's a gunner, and just drive around, just flying around and just blowing stuff up. I mean, it was just pretty fun. It doesn't have to be based on campaigns, so it's not it wasn't continuous one level to the next, but it wasn't multiplayer. You have 50 million people shooting at you, so.
We'll flash over between the maps that were in the package: Strike at Karkand, Wake Island, Gulf of Oman, and Sharkey Peninsula. Which one is your favorite?
I used to do a ton of sniping, and Wake Island was pretty awesome for that. It's just, a wide open, U-shaped island, and you can, if you spawn on a boat, on your aircraft carrier, you can sit on that and snipe. But the other cool thing about it is, if you want to fly a helicopter, fly a jet or something, you don't have to worry about a bunch of buildings and stuff to run into, which I am very good at apparently, running into buildings with helicopters
too.
Yeah, oh my god. If you run into the smallest wire on some of those maps, your helicopter just goes crashing to the ground. So Wake Island's a pretty cool map. Especially if you want to learn how to fly a helicopter, learn how to fly a plane. But I think it's kind of weird how some of those maps work out. I don't know if any of you have noticed, but on I think Gulf of Oman or something, there are 2 separate parts to it. You can be playing Conquest on one part of that map, but maybe another game you'll be playing on another part. And I might be getting the maps mixed up, but I think that actually is the way it works. So there will be one time where I'm spawning on an aircraft carrier way on one side of the map, and maybe another game I'll be in a totally different area, and you can't even go near that other part of the map. So it's kind of weird how that works out, but I like Wake Island, and I don't really have anything against the other maps, but that seems to be my favorite.
Yeah, and the weapons, some of them are really nice. Some of them I find I don't really use, like the FAMAS. I hate it. That's just me.
I haven't really. I mean, I'm sure I've unlocked a couple, but I haven't cared to use them just because, when you play Battlefield, usually you find that one gun setup and you stick with it. I don't really go exploring for other kinds of guns or play style or anything. So.
Yeah, well, with Halo, they had the new. Well, it's not new now. The Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition came out late last year, which was basically just a remake. Just take the Combat Evolved, spruce it up, make it look nice again, and there you go.
It pretty much runs the Reach platform, where you have the same kind of stats that kind of evolve through that from Reach into your Halo Anniversary game. I noticed quite a bit of difference. Like, you can, when you're playing the game, the campaign, you can play an old style where it's like the original Halo, and the graphics, they look like crap. Like when you press, I think you toggle like your joystick or something like that, or select button or something, and it switches back and forth while you're playing the game, and you can see a definite, like, it's like night and day. Where I don't know if Flashover, do you have the game?
No, the first Halo is the only Halo game that I haven't played because of whatever reason. I didn't have an original Xbox when they came out, so I never got any of those games. But with Combat Evolved, though, I know that there's a ton of people that are huge Halo fans, and Combat Evolved was like the best thing that ever happened to them because they got to play the original game for another $60. So
yeah, plus it was in HD.
Yeah,
which is I was a big Halo fan. I actually have a Halo Edition Xbox, the original Xbox. It's kind of like that, Master Chief green color, and it's I got 4 controllers with little memory sticks that are green. I got the original game disc that came with it. Plus, I have another copy of Halo. I don't know how the heck I ended up with that, but I have Halo 2, Halo 3, ODST. I have Halo Wars sitting around here somewhere, and they have the Reach and the new Anniversary. So I have all the games by Halo. I wouldn't say I'm a diehard fan. I do have a few collector things and whatnot, books, but like the books, like game guide books, not the reading books.
That's funny.
I didn't really get much in the actual reading, but when it comes to Halo Anniversary, I was glad that game came out. I've been actually wishing for a couple of years, like, they should remake these 2 games and make them in HD. It would be so much nicer. And there they finally come with it. And then obviously, with the whole system of Halo Anniversary, they also included the original maps from Halo you could download and play into the Reach games and play some of the classic maps. I can't remember some of the names right now, but Blood Gulch is one of them. That was one of my favorite classic ones. Those are 2 little buildings on each end, and a long valley just for shooting and blowing up with rocket launchers and everything. It was one of the best maps ever.
And then, Halo 4 is coming out
next fall.
Later this year.
Yeah, this coming fall.
Yeah, actually, on that note, there's a lot of new games coming out that we should probably start mentioning.
Well, we have Soul Calibur 5 and Final Fantasy 13 Part 2 coming out this week.
Mm-hmm.
Which I played Soul Calibur, I think it was 3 for Nintendo GameCube. I liked it.
God. The GameCube.
Really I love my GameCube.
I remember we got a GameCube, and the first game my brother got for it was like Animal Crossing or something. Apparently that was like the biggest game of the year, but I didn't understand it a bit. But
I had quite the village in Animal Crossing.
I did play the demo version for the Final Fantasy one coming out, and I had a couple of like disagreements with it, I guess. The first one being that they called it 13 Part 2, but they're up to 13, so you could just call it 14.
Yeah.
But I don't think their story stays exactly the same in all the games. My favorite Final Fantasy, I think it was
7?
10, but I haven't played a lot. I haven't played a lot previous to that. I played a couple at like my friend's house, and that was a long time ago. But I liked 10 just because it was one of the first RPGs I've played. But with the Part 2, 13 Part 2, there wasn't really, a huge sense of, like, I don't think they had a lot of success with that game so far, even with the demo only being available. So when the new game comes out, I don't know if I'll get it or not, but I strongly discourage it. That's all.
Well,
but if go ahead.
Oh, I know there's a beta coming out pretty soon for the new Mass Effect 3. And I know owners of, which I think it was Battlefield 3 Limited Edition, actually get early access to the beta.
Oh, really?
For those big Mass Effect 3 people out there. I'm not one of them.
Me either.
I haven't played any of the games.
Nope.
Nope, I've never touched it.
I think I played 5 minutes of Mass Effect, the first one, and I kind of got bored and put it away.
Not games are coming out.
Twisted Metal. How about that for February?
Which
Twisted
one?
Metal. Twisted Metal, the new one. It's like a remake of the original from like PlayStation 1. That game I used to play like every single day when I was younger.
Never heard of it.
Never
Really?
played Twisted Metal? Really?
Yeah.
I played Twisted Metal just because I got a cousin that's into all that, violent, whatever, just killing everybody games. And, for people like that, you play Twisted Metal. I think, if I remember right, you just drove cars around that had like rocket launchers attached to them, and it was just
it was like a demolition derby with rockets.
Yeah. And it was really fun. But how far, how many demolition derby rounds can you do and just say, this is boring? But
well, the new game obviously is also an HD plus. It's supposed to be a lot. It's supposed to integrate a lot more people apparently, so you can have more people play with you. So obviously, the multiplayer online back in the old days, you didn't have multiplayer. You didn't have online. You didn't play online. So you just played the 4 people on your little crappy CRT TV. Now you can play, probably 16 or 18 people maybe from online and get everybody together. So,
and for anybody, that's listening that might be under 17 or something, or you have like strict parents wouldn't let you get Grand Theft Auto. If you want to relieve some stress, go kill some people online. Just tell them you want a racing game and get Twisted Metal, because I didn't know that they were going to do online for it till recently. I heard about it, and that sounds like it'd be great fun. Killing other people online in cars. So maybe in that aspect, yeah, that sounds kind of fun, but.
Yeah, other than that, there's a lot of Kinect games coming out. There's like a new Zumba fitness. Mm-hmm. There's some dancing shape one. There's a shooting one in Afghanistan.
I just got Kinect for Christmas, actually. I bought it for myself and my fiance here in the apartment, and it's actually kind of fun. Like after working it for, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes, like you can actually work up a sweat pretty dang good after like jumping around and waving yourself in the air, like a total dummy. But it's I can just imagine like neighbors, like if you had like I live on 3rd floor, so nobody can really see me, but if you had neighbors and you see this person just standing there jumping around from a TV, and they're like, what the heck, they're not doing anything or holding anything, I would think there'd be something wrong. But
he's watching the big game and his team's losing or something.
Yeah, he's doing jumping jacks while his team's losing.
With Kinect, I don't have one, and I have noticed that they have it's become huge. There's a ton of games out for Kinect, and I did not realize it was that big. I thought it was kind of like when Wii came out, and the big thing was going over to your friend's house and just playing Wii Sports, which was really fun. You could work up a sweat in Wii Sports, but
Yeah.
I heard with Kinect, there's actual like dedicated fitness programs and all that stuff. So, it wouldn't work out too good for me though. I'm in the second floor of my house, and my house is really shaky to begin with. So if I'm 6'2", 200 pounds, jumping up and down in my house, everyone's trying to sleep, and I'm trying to, get a workout in. I don't think that'll work out too well. So
Yeah, so you might wake someone up.
maybe.
But other than that, those are kind of the big games. I'm sure there's going to be another Call of Duty in 2012.
Jeez.
Black Ops 2. Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to call it.
Whatever they want to call it.
Yeah. Extra Black Ops.
Yeah.
Or no, they'll
But,
probably
do you
call
guys have anything else?
No, I think that pretty much sums it up of the new releases and some of the new map packs.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a ton of games coming out that no one's ever heard of, and we won't start on them now. But maybe next week we can look into games that are maybe unheard of or something, and kind of get a name for them. But I don't know of any other big ones coming out.
No, other than the Halo, Mass Effect, Final Fantasy, some new Call of Duty.
It has to be
Really
a Call of
the
Duty.
big ones I can think of.
I think the two biggest ones will probably be the Halo and then obviously Call of Duty games. Obviously, Call of Duty making a game one every year seems to be their routine. The fact that Halo 4, is continuing the storyline after Halo 3, and that people waited 4 years now for it. I think that's what people were waiting for, and they want to continue that storyline. So that's gonna be the big game for the fall.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining me.
Yeah.
Next week, we should talk about kind of the small unknown games, the gems hidden in them.
Perhaps.
You'll have to tune in.
All right, thanks guys for watching.
Listening, watching.
Both.
Bit of both. See ya.